Today I want to talk about activating your inner creator versus these terms like manifesting or becoming magnetic. We're constantly manifesting, whether it's perceived as something to be good or bad. We are manifesting it based on our deeper rooted belief systems, our perception of our own belief systems, and the way that we react and respond to our external reality, the way that we react and respond to our internal world. We are constantly manifesting every single second of the day. This entire reality is one giant manifestation. So it's not about learning how to manifest. It's about awakening to the realization that you already are manifesting everything all the time. And becoming magnetic implies that there's something outside of you and it's bigger and better than you. And so now you need to magnetize it towards you. This is rooted in separation. This is not rooted in your power. This is not rooted in the truth of who you are. And when you awaken the creator, when you awaken your inner creator, and you become aware that you are constantly in co-creation with everything around you, then you awaken your ability to change reality, right? And the change does not occur always in the external. A lot of the times, the change is a simple change in perspective. Most miracles are simply just a change in perspective. Okay, so when you awaken your inner creator, you begin to realize that it never was about what was happening outside of you. It was never about the people in your life. It was always about you and the way that you chose and the perspective you chose of everything happening around you. And when you begin to become aware, that is when you get to choose what you want to believe and what you no longer want to believe. What you want, what thoughts you want to allow in your field, and what thoughts are not serving you. And then from there, you begin shifting your reality. But through this transition, for a while, for a long time, your external reality is not necessarily going to reflect back to you your inherent abundance, your inherent unconditional love. And that is not because you don't deserve it. It is because for so long, for up until this point in your life, you have been operating from your ego. You have not been aware of your creative nature. You have not been aware that you are constantly manifesting your reality, co-creating your reality with God or with your ego. And when you've been co-creating reality with your ego for so long, most everything in your life will be rooted in fear, lack, and separation. And it is when you begin to become aware that everything in your reality is reflecting back to you fear, lack, and separation, that you then can choose to change your perspective of these things. You no longer see them as the truth of you. You no longer see them as reasons as to why you're not worthy. You now begin to see them as like, oh, okay, so that's reflecting back to me to show me where I'm still holding on to lack. That's popping up to show me where I'm still holding on to separation. Awesome. Thank you so much, universe. Thank you so much, God, for showing me where I still have a belief system rooted in lack so I can uproot it. And then from that point, you choose to begin to change your belief systems. And this happens slowly and this happens over time because it's challenging. It is so much easier to project externally and to blame all the people in your life, to blame your circumstance, to blame the president, to blame the cost of groceries. It's so much easier to project externally and blame everything for why your life is not going the way you want it to go. It's way harder to actually look at yourself and listen to the words that come out of your mouth. The words that are coming out of your mouth, are they rooted in fear, lack, separation, codependency, or are they rooted in sovereignty, abundance, joy, gratitude, unconditional love? And that is the first thing I would tell you to begin bringing awareness to, are your words. How are you speaking about your situation? How are you speaking about people in your life? How are you speaking about your job? How are you speaking about how much money you make? How are you speaking about what's not possible for you or what is possible for you? What words are you speaking? Begin to become aware of these, because they are directly coming from your belief systems. If you say, it's not my fault, my boss just sucks, or it's not my fault, my job doesn't pay enough. Okay, then why are you still working there? Why are you still working for this boss? Because you don't believe that you could find a better job? You don't believe that there are other ways for you to make money? You don't believe that there are unlimited opportunities for you to create and begin operating from your heart and actually building a life where you do what you love? That's okay that you're still rooted in belief systems of fear, feeling like you have to work a job that you don't like in order to make money, in order to pay your bills. It's okay to have those beliefs. They're so deeply ingrained within us. But slowly begin to become aware and slowly start to tweak the way that you see it. Start to tweak the way that you speak about it. Rather than saying, it's all my boss's fault, I hate my job, but I have to work there to pay the bills. You could say, this might not be my forever job, but I'm so grateful that it is gifting me the opportunity to pay my bills for now while I figure it out. It's all about your perspective. In one, you're seeing the negative, you're seeing the lack, you're seeing the separation, you're seeing the fear. In the other perspective, you're seeing the appreciation, the gratitude, the abundance. And when you can begin to shift your perspective on everything in your life, everything. And I'm not talking about like physical abuse. If that is happening, use your physical world to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about physical or mental abuse. Get out of those situations as quickly as possible. You do not deserve that. Nobody deserves that. And that is not your fault. That is the other person's fault for treating you that way. That's not what I'm speaking to. I'm speaking about situations that you're keeping yourself in, like working a job you hate because you think you have to do it in order to make enough money to pay your bills, but just barely. That's on you. That one's on you. And you have all the power in the world to change that by slowly changing your perspective to a gratitude, to the abundance that you are receiving. And then from there, you begin to build a new world. It takes a long time. It takes a long time. It doesn't have to take a long time, but our egos are stubborn. And so we continue to fall back into old stories and old patterns over and over and over again. But it's all about bringing that awareness to it. Bringing the awareness, oh, I'm playing in my ego. I'm playing in lack. I'm playing in separation. Let me come up out of this. Change my perspective to change my belief system. And when I change my belief system, slowly but surely, my physical life will begin to reflect my new belief systems back to me. But every little shred of the old that's rooted and ingrained in my body needs to be released through me choosing to look at it differently. That's how you release a belief system, is by you choosing to look at the situation differently, by you choosing to talk to yourself differently, to talk to yourself in a new way, to talk to yourself in a kinder way, to show yourself more grace, to show yourself more compassion, to give yourself more time to rest when you need to rest. All of these little changes that to this society that we have built looks like we're doing nothing, looks like we're being lazy. Those are the big changes that will begin to shift your life. Okay? And this is where the work is done, and you must be patient. You must have honor and respect for this path. This is ancient knowledge. This is an ancient path, and it is the path that is our birthright. But in order to awaken and begin walking down this path, it takes patience, because we're working on shifting our ego, of merging our higher self and our ego together as one, and the two shall become one. And so you must have patience in this process. It could take years. It could take 1 year. It could take 6 months. It's different for how stubborn you are, for how stubborn your ego is, right? You know, it depends on how willing you are to look at yourself. It depends on how willing you are to stop blaming the world around you and to start taking ownership for your life. And for a lot of people, that's hard. That's challenging. A lot of people don't want to look at themselves. A lot of people don't want to take ownership for their lives. It's much easier to blame your boss. It's much easier to blame the government. It's much easier to blame your partner. But to actually take ownership for everything in your life, to take ownership for your, shitty marriage, to take ownership for a job that you hate, that's harder to do. It's easier to put that on your spouse or to put that on your boss. But if you actually want to start to change your life, you have to take ownership for everything, and you have to be willing to stand in your sovereignty every single day and make a commitment to yourself to change your life from within. So externally, your life may look exactly the same as it was 2 years ago, but on the inside, the way that you will know that it's working is that you find more peace. You find more gratitude. You find more abundance. You find more joy. So on the external, your life may look exactly the same, but on the inside, you know the work has been done because you are at peace. The world doesn't grind on you in the same way it used to. That's how you know it's working. And it's once you reach that point where you've found that internal state of peace and you've learned to surrender to the external, you're no longer trying to force the external to change to make you happy. You're learning that it's about surrendering to the external and becoming at peace inside anyways. It's about learning that you are in control of your peace, that your world will slowly but surely, or all at once, instantly reflect back to you because you have been creating from within. You create worlds from within. You build heaven on earth from inside first, and then eventually, if you're patient, if you're willing to trust and have faith in the divine, if you're willing to trust and have faith in the work that you've done, it will eventually reflect back out to you in the external world. The reason why people get so frustrated and give up is because they want instant gratification. They want their manifestations and they want them now. But that's not how it works. And if that is how it works for some people, or for you, if you were able to manifest a car, but your consciousness, you didn't find the inner peace first, but you have a new car, nothing actually changed. Your level of consciousness didn't actually change. So something is going to happen to where you total your new car, or you can't make payments on your new car and they take it away. If your level of consciousness, if your frequency has not risen to match your manifestations, you're going to lose it, because you have to be capable of holding abundance. If you're not capable of holding abundance, and yet you've used a little manifestation hack to get a car in 30 days, you're more than likely going to lose that car because your frequency didn't change. Your capacity to hold abundance didn't grow. You're still in a lack mindset. You just have a new car now. Okay, so the new car means nothing if the inside didn't change too. If you don't feel more peace inside, the new car means nothing. If you don't feel more abundant inside, the new car means nothing. If you don't feel more free inside, The new, better job means nothing. Nothing in the external world means anything if you did not find it first within. And that's why this path can be so frustrating for so many. For most of us, it's frustrating to me at times. It's a frustrating path, but it's because you must be willing to honor this path, to have respect for this path. Not because it's better than or greater than you, but because when you're trying to just make quick little fixes in the external world, you're using your ego to do that. And you can't walk this spiritual path with your ego. You must walk the spiritual path with your spirit, with your soul. And your spirit, your higher self, doesn't need all of this showy stuff in the external to know that they're abundant. Your soul does not need a bigger house or a nicer car to know that it's worthy. It already is worthy, and it already knows it's worthy. It doesn't need something outside of itself to prove that to it. And that is the path we chose to walk as humans, is to learn when we are operating from our ego, and to not shame our ego, but to befriend our ego, to merge our ego with our higher self, so that we become a spiritual master walking in a human body. And if that's too intense for you, if you'd rather just manifest a car and live a normal life, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to do that. But what I'm talking about is becoming an incarnated spiritual master, walking the physical earth in a physical human body. And that's what I'm about. So that's what my page is about. If this is too intense for you, if you're not interested in walking the path this deeply, if you're not interested in becoming a spiritual master incarnated in a physical body, bringing it down to earth, then this page is not for you. Then I am not for you. You can take what you want and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, you can still, I'm not saying you can't watch my videos if you don't resonate with that, of course. But I'm just saying, if you don't agree with some of the things I say, that's why. It's because I'm not moving through life with my ego. That's not the path I'm choosing. Because I understand that my freedom does not lie in my ego. My freedom does not lie in the wants and desires of my ego. True freedom lies in my soul. True freedom lies in going within. True freedom lies in realizing that I'm already free and embodying my higher self. True freedom is not something that you can get from this material world. True freedom is something that must come from within, and it must be birthed through your heart. It is your inherent gift from God, is your true freedom. And it's not something you can obtain as your ego. You can only obtain your true freedom, your gift from God, through your spirit, through your soul, through your heart. Okay, so that's why you must have honor and respect for this path. And you must be willing to look at where you're operating from your ego, where you're wanting, where you're needing from your ego, and not where you are knowing from your spirit. And when you begin to awaken your observer and activate your creator, then you begin co-creating by choice with the divine. And so all of these things begin to become birthed within you. Your physical world looks the same. Your friends and family may still look at you the same. They may still talk to you the same, but you're different. They don't bother you as much. You're not triggered as much by the people around you. You're not triggered or pulled by the external world because you have found it within first. You have become the presence of peace. You have become the presence of heaven on earth. You have become the presence of your higher self. And you know that everything else is all an illusion. And so through doing this, your world slowly over time, as you work with yourself, as you merge with your ego and you merge with your higher self, and you go down into the depths of your unconscious to see where you're still operating from your ego so that you can alchemize it, so you can merge even deeper with it, so that your ego and higher self become one. Through doing this, your external world will begin to reflect back to you your inherent worthiness. Your external world will begin to reflect back to you your inherent abundance, your inherent peace. It will begin to reflect back to you the mansion that you have been building in your heart. But you must build a mansion in your heart first. A true mansion, which means nothing externally can budge you. You have become the eye of the storm, the peace in the chaos. This is how it works, and it takes patience and compassion for yourself. So much compassion for yourself, so much patience for your external world, so much patience for yourself, because it takes time. And things don't always go the way that you specifically want them to, but they do always go the way that they need to go to show you what you're missing, to show you where you're missing the mark, where you're not walking as your higher self, where you could be walking more deeply as your higher self. It's all happening for you to begin to embody the presence of heaven on earth, to begin to embody the presence of your higher self. It has nothing to do with the external world, and it has everything to do with your internal state and how much peace you feel within. Okay? I love you so much. I'm so grateful to be here and to be doing this work with all of you. It's truly an honor to be on this planet at this time. And it is an honor to be here in this space with all of you who are also on this path, who are also dedicated to awakening that presence from within. Goodbye. I don't know why I end it like that. Goodbye. Okay, bye. Love you.